What's up, everybody? It's the Warrior of Hype, and man, that trailer that just dropped, it's only a minute long, but it's not super spoilery, and it's just the appetizer that I needed right now. Okay, right here, we're only a couple weeks away from Rebirth, so this trailer is jam-packed with some fun things that I've pointed out, so let's take a look at it. Let's go ahead and start. Alright, first of all, we're going to do this frame by frame, so here we go, baby. Sephiroth is smiling in this one, which is interesting because in all other depictions, they show a much more soulless expression, as you can see here. Let me look at this. This is from Crisis Core. He's not smiling in this. I mean, he's kind of... Yeah, there's more of a soulless or focused expression. So this is likely him speaking to Cloud through the flashback that he's trying to tell at the calm end, and further toying with his emotions right now. Now, as we keep going, Cloud is on the floor, which is an interesting thing I have to point out because during the real events of the Nibelheim incident, that is where you will find Cloud right there as he's on the floor. But of course, in the Rebirth trailer, he's wearing the the two shoulder pads, kind of reminiscent of Zack here, but he's on the ground. And if you remember the original flashback, he's jumping into buildings, he's trying to save people with Zangan, trying to go in and out of buildings and just be the hero. And then he turns around and sees Sephiroth walk through the fire, or slash down two townsfolk and then walk through the fire. So this is interesting to see Cloud on the floor, if he is trying to tell the Nibelheim flashback. This is, just everything's starting to get a little jumbled up here. So, and I'll explain as we go a little bit further. This guy right here. So this guy, it's got to be the sheriff of Nibelheim, the head of the village known as Xander, mentioned in the novel Traces of Two Pasts. In that novel, Xander pleaded for Shinra to investigate the increased monster sightings coming from Mount Nibel. He also assigned Tifa to be the team's guide. Xander was murdered by Sephiroth, page 73, where Tifa's dad delivered the news. You can see the badge on his chest, about right there, kind of signifying that, hey, he's the sheriff around these parts. Probably one of the two townfolk that Sephiroth cut down in the original game, where he was just like, it makes a lot of sense for it to be the head of the town, right? It makes a lot of sense for him to be the last stand, and even with a shotgun in his hand, this guy is terrified as Sephiroth approaches. And then you saw right there, or you heard, I guess, that shing, that's him cutting him down, right? So here we go, ready? And then look at Cloud's wincing eyes, like, ooh, like he just saw somebody get murdered right there. I do want to backtrack just a little bit further because I think I missed something. So let's go back a little bit. The Mount Nibel reactor is kind of in sight in the background, which is something I wanted to point out because in all other depictions of the game, or Final Fantasy VII compilation, Mount Nibel has always seemed so far away from the village of Nibelheim. So this is kind of, like, hey, showing that this is a more condensed world, which makes a whole lot of sense for Rebirth, as they are condensing this world and changing the shape and everything like that. The positioning of things, placement of locations. If everything is truly open world where you can walk right to it, it does make a lot of sense that Mount Nibel's reactor is right there behind the village. So I wanted to point that out. As Sephiroth walking through the fire has got to be the most iconic imagery in gaming, right? That's that, it was going around on social media, but that is the most iconic imagery in gaming. Now here, we have the same scene that we saw from the Summer Game Fest trailer of Sector 2, the aftermath of Sector 2, where they're talking about a massive tornado that went through. But this is new. So we can see what looks like a fiery tornado going on in the background. Yeah, I mean, and this is also being brought to us by SN Net News Today. So this is some footage that was, broadcasted before it cuts out. The camera cuts out, and you can see, boom, and it goes to this. Shot goes so hard, dude. This shot is so freaking awesome. Apparently, this one, of course, SNet News, SNet, the SNet News Today from SNet News. Look, as a freaking skyscraper, flying skyscraper. This is just such an awesome scene. Boom, and the camera cuts out, right? All right, and then let's back up just a second. God, man, this is so good.
What happened?
All right, right there, you kind of saw it for just a brief second. But we're going to go back. There it is. There's the white feather. Now, this white feather is most likely associated with Angeal, one of the only characters in Final Fantasy VII to have a white wing. What do angels dream of? Floats by the shot here as Zack says, what happened to this place? I think this is either him talking to Elmira or Biggs or anyone in the church that he arrived at the end of intermission. I don't think it's to Tifa because, Tifa immediately says it was Sephiroth in this trailer. She's not wrong, but this is just a clever hard cut in the trailer editing. And I think if we put these scenes together, it would go a little something like that, because like this coming up, because it's the same shot of Tifa's mouth from the side talking that was in the Summer Game Fest trailer once again. So, okay.
What happened to this place?
So now we're gonna go over here. It would sound a little something like this.
It was Sephiroth.
Oh, wait, I messed up the order. All right, hold on. Let me get this right. So it would go a little something like this.
Whatever happened, he's alive.
But why come back now?
Anyways, I think I messed up the order. Basically, it was Sephiroth, but why come back now, right? So I kind of, I think it's all in the inn at the calm, right? Or the inn of calm, where he's telling the Nibelheim flashback. So just, don't be fooled by some clever editing there.
It was Sephiroth.
And Sephiroth holding Genova's arm.
It can't be.
Now this could be Barrett saying it can't be on the cargo ship, which it's making you, it's leading you to believe that as it shows Sephiroth holding Genova's arm. We've seen him transform into it, and we're probably, I think it's the following scene, maybe, I don't know, but it kind of leads you to believe that this is all taking place in that. I think that this is taking place at the battle arena, when we see the massacre of the battle arena, where the people that are dead don't have slash wounds, they have bullet wounds. And I think he's kind of realizing that it could be Dyne in this moment. That's why he's saying it can't be, it's Dyne. He's, it just looks a little more elegant in here with the staircase. I don't know, I could be mistaken, but it could be what's going on too. So, and he's got his glasses on, so I mean, hey, you're on a cruise ship, gotta wear your glasses.
He wants to
All right, here we go.
finish what he started.
The high wind in the background, it looks so beautiful. Right there. Let's go back. There he is. That right there is Roche. He's back, as I predicted. Whew. Man, sometimes I feel validated and feel good. You know what I mean about my predictions. So if you watched my predicting the 18 chapters, or it parallels remake, I think that's what it's called. The 18 chapters of Rebirth parallel remake, or something like that. Probably a little condensed because that title doesn't work in YouTube algorithm. Anyways, I predicted that around this chapter, Roach would show up. And it's got to be like around chapter 4 where Roach showed up in the remake. And there he is. He's right there. Now, I wonder if it will furthermore validate my prediction or confirm it in the game when Roach is the one who helps you get through the parade, maybe gets you the job as the coordinator of the march here. Maybe he gets you into doing that. Maybe he gets you through the parade and onto the cargo ship, which is now confirmed to be called the Shinra 8, which I'll get to in just a second. Maybe it's Roach that helps you get there undetected. So, pretty cool. I do want to go back a little bit further. I missed another thing. So, when...
What happened to this place?
It was
Zach is walking through. So, I know that the ground floor of the ground level of Midgar is a pretty messy place. And it's seen its fair share of falling plate debris. But maybe this debris right here, as you can see, I mean, this looks like some big, heavy, chunky debris was flung from the city by that massive tornado that I believe is happening in Zach's world. I'd like to call it the world since Sephiroth said world merging. So in Zach's world, I think all that natural disasters has happened, probably caused from the whispers that were happening at the end of Remake. Flung these, they look like skyscrapers to me, out here outside the city walls. So let's get back to where we left off.
He wants to finish what he started and rule over the planet.
All right, Sephiroth is winding up here. And then if I go frame by frame, Sephiroth winds up and then you can see him just charge right at you. And in the background are whispers. Now, what has me thinking here is this that scene? You know what I mean? Is this that scene that we're all thinking of where he's kind of, you know, he's got the high ground, you know, he's coming down with a blade and there's whispers behind him, just as we saw whispers behind Aerith in the last trailer. I don't think this is, but I could be mistaken as well. I mean, be interesting, right? So he's charging down to attack there. So
You coming?
now Barrett says, "You coming?" Now he says "you." He doesn't say "y'all," which is interesting to me because it makes me think that maybe that was part of the Gold Saucer date, as this is taking place at the hotel, the haunted hotel in the Gold Saucer. And he says "you coming," which means he's talking to one person. Could be Cloud, right? I don't know. We'll see.
Coming?
This is Yuffie, Costa del Sol. We've seen this footage 100,000 times, analyzed it so much. Now, we have to help them. We have to help them. As we can see, that's an unflattering image of Tifa there, but we're going to leave it there. We got Barrett, we got Tifa, and we got Yuffie. And what's interesting about that is that if we go to the official PowerPoint that was released here, we can see a party of Yuffie, Barrett, and Tifa. This was kind of a cause of concern on Twitter, but I don't think it needs to be. Because hey, where's Cloud in this party? A lot of people are like, what happened to Cloud? This is the first time we've seen a party without Cloud. No, it's not. Okay, because we saw a party without Cloud in the Mithril Mines with Barrett and Red 13. So I think this is going to be a kind of a common occurrence where the party splits in dungeons, such as the Mithril Mines, and in this instance, looks like the Mount Coral impossibly high railroad bridges. Let me zoom in. As you can see right there, you can see the yeah, I can't wait to hear what Barrett has to say about those really high up there bridges that in the original you fall through. So that should be a lot of fun. I can't wait for that. But I think that's all that is. So don't be nervous. Where's Cloud at? This is just the Mount Coral dungeon.
help them.
This is Tifa fighting the Midgar Zalem. Notice the burning trees. Of course, that is Aerith at the same during the same fight with the burning trees. The water.
Let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Now, in that picture right there, that's a snake. That's a snake on a spike. It seems like. So I think they're at the entrance of the Mithril Mines, and the Midgar Zalem is on a spike. They probably just looked up at it and was like, did Sephiroth do this? But there you can see it's kind of coiled around that tree, and it's probably going to get even larger from there. That's probably just the very tail of it. So my thought process on that is, well, hey, they're fighting a Midgar Zalem. It is a boss fight. So why is it intimidating if you have to fight it, right? How's it going to recapture that feeling that the original game had when you see the Midgar Zalem on a spike that you had to go get a chocobo to run from? In this game, you're fighting it, as you can see right there. There's the Midgar Zalem. And this little sequence here, so cool. It's breathing fire. Cloud is trying to jump over it, and then he gets kind of caught in that. Oh, I can't freaking wait. This boss battle looks amazing. The Zalem itself looks a little small. Am I right? Or is that maybe that's what's going to happen? Maybe the Zalem is just a smaller Zalem. And again, this is exactly what I predicted. But I don't think it. Look, listen, I don't know. I'm just tooting my own horn. But if this is a smaller Zalem, and then we get to the end of it where we at the entrance of the Mithril Mines, and we see a massive one that's on a spike, like just towering Zalem, and that one is actually called the Midgar Swarm to appease the author of the Norse myths that inspired Final Fantasy VII, MJ Gallagher, to make him happy. That one is actually called the Midgar Swarm, and that one is the one that Sephiroth put on a spike with ease as you're having a hard time against this little tiny one. That's my prediction. That would make it something to be like, oh my god, Sephiroth is, awesome power. Has this awesome power. So.
You are truly.
Okay. Where is Hojo at, right? This is my question here. What lab is Hojo in? This does not look like the beach at Costa del Sol. He's got like little prying arms here, and it definitely seems to be in more of an industrial location, maybe a more scientific lab of sorts. I believe that this is in Zack's world. I think Hojo is looking at Zack and saying, you are indeed an impressive soldier, or something like that. Let's see what it says.
You are truly a model soldier.
You are truly a marvelous soldier. I think he's looking at Zack, and this is in the Shinra HQ. Cloud slicing through some troopers here in what is definitely a cutscene, and whispers encircling the area that I believe could be the Gungaga reactor. And if there was an appropriate place for whispers to be at, I think it's Zack's hometown, right? Now listen to this cry out for Tifa, because bruh, oh my god, Cody Christian with the best performance of 2024 already. Here we go. Oh my god. Hold on, let's go back. I didn't do it right. I didn't do it justice.
Truly a model soldier.
The cracking in the voice, it's just so good. Now, let's look at it a little bit further. Right. Let's go back. Right there. All right, so some interesting things to point out. This is definitely a Cloud that is disarmed. This is a Cloud. He does not have the Buster Sword in his right arm. He doesn't even have it on his back, which means he probably dropped the sword, fell to his knees, and let out that cry for Tifa, which means it seems like that Cloud in this moment thinks that he has truly lost Tifa, or something bad has happened to Tifa, which, man, what a way to deliver that that scream. God, so good. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out there. And let's talk about this creature that emerges. So Tifa's falling in what seems to be that, I guess, that deep well, the reactor of Gungaga. I'm still going with, I think, in this particular. I mean, you can see like the greenery here. The foliage kind of gives off that Gungaga vibe. So I think this is happening within the reactor, and this is like a pool of Mako. So interesting if she falls into the pool of Mako, you know what I mean? That could change up things. Now, this creature that emerges, this is the same creature that was in the Summer Game Fest trailer. If I go back to the Summer Game Fest trailer, and we'll skip ahead to about, I believe it was the Summer Game Fest trailer. I might be mistaken. Yeah, I think I'm mistaken. Anyways, it was in one of the recent trailers, and you guys know what I'm talking about. It was like Tifa's kind of swimming around, and looking around, and like, and Red 13 is saying these are planetary, tutelary creatures to protect the planet, known as weapons, right? And this one was in the background. Now, I think that was actually taking place in a VR simulation or a VR projection, similar to the Cosmos Theater and the Shinra Tower and remake, where the Ancients presentation was taking place. But Bugenhagen has his own technology as well in the Cosmo Canyon Observatory. So I think they were kind of showing that off. But here it is in the flesh, like this is reality now. And it's emerging from this Mako well, from what I still believe is the Gungaga reactor. But what in the Final Fantasy X Sin kind of looking weapon is this? You know what I mean? But I think I figured something out that is pretty mind blowing. This weapon looks a whole lot like Bizarro Sephiroth. Are you kidding me right now? And guess what is crazy about that? Bizarro Sephiroth is a mistranslation of Rebirth Sephiroth. This was supposed to be Rebirth Sephiroth. So, the orb at the center of the torso is one of the giveaways there. The whale-like fins coming off, you can see. Also, another very eyebrow-raising similarity there. So regardless of my crazy theories of, if this is Sephiroth, a product of Sephiroth and not actually a weapon from the planet, like this is a product of Bizarro Sephiroth from the other timeline of the original game, and this is just kind of the byproduct of that it's made its way into this present day, whatever crazy shenanigans you want to say, or if this is indeed a planetary weapon. Why is it emerging right now? Why is it coming from Gungaga? And why does it look a whole lot like Bizarro Sephiroth? Especially in a game called Rebirth. Interesting stuff. Okay, now let's keep on going. Aerith is on the Shinra 8 that we talked about earlier, being the cargo ship. Now, I'll go to that and show you right there. This is a Shinra cruise that ferries travelers between planets' eastern and western continents. After departing for the port of Junon, it heads to the resort town of Costa del Sol. As part of the onboard entertainment, the ship also plays host to a Queen's Blood tournament, so that's really cool. But yeah, as you can see, this is what the Shinra 8 looks like on the inside. It's more of a cruise liner, pretty cool. But hey, this is happening at nighttime, and you can see the life raft and all that other stuff. The floor has the pattern on it that we saw in the previous trailers. So I am very confident that this is the Shinra 8. But what's interesting about that is that it looks like the Shinra 8 is in shambles right now. Maybe in, you know, look at it. Looks like this is knocked over. Maybe this something is attacking the ship, right? And this is at nighttime. I don't know. I could be looking into it a little bit, but it looks like something's happening. Now, in the original game, there was a stowaway spotted where the party had to put on the sailor suits and go kind of disguised to kind of fit in. Now, we haven't seen that yet, which is interesting because we all want to see it. We all want to see the party in the Shinra or in the cruise line or the sailor suits and all that other good stuff. Let's see. As we can see there, look, somebody's in the sailor suit. So, what's attacking the ship? Could be the stowaway. All right, let's keep on going.
Handle this.
Now, Barrett is aiming slightly upwards, so maybe he's shooting at that emerging weapon we talked about. Now, Red 13 is running down what I think looks like an airstrip. As you can see, the yellow on the pavement, right about there, right? It looks like an airstrip, and he's being shot at. Look in the background. Is that the rocket? I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing. It looks like maybe a reactor. But if this is an airstrip, is this the moment where the tiny Bronco is kind of like starting to swoop in, and they got to jump onto the tiny Bronco? Is it going to get shot down afterwards? But also, shout out to the person who edited this video. Give a big shout out, man. Doing fantastic work, whoever that is. Watch. Look at that cut. Makes it look so good. Definitely two different locations. Jumping, boom, right into a run. I like that. I like that. Alright, we know that's Yuffie at Costa del Sol. That's Sephiroth in the Mount Nebel reactor, as you can see from all of the tubes. It looks very reminiscent of from what we've seen in Crisis Core Reunion. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Look at Cloud's eyes. Whoop. Those eyes restrict real quick. Look. Watch this. Look at those eyes restrict. Those pupils. The pupils constrict real quick. Boom. That's some real quick restricting of the pupils. So, why did the pupils constrict? You know what I mean? Okay, let's dive into this unnecessarily. All right. We're so used to these pupils turning into the cat-like eyes, right? That we've seen from Advent Children and things like that. We've seen that before, but these they constrict. The pupils constrict so quickly. Now, and not naturally, might I add. So even if it's a bright light, the eyes would constrict more gradually, right? Like they kind of have a little bit of time to react to it. If it's a bright light, it could be that Cloud is just hyper focused on what is in front of him, which, hey, that's what your eyes do, your pupils do. They constrict if you're like hyper focused on it. But as we can see here in this video here, this is what happens when your eyes are exposed to a bright light. Look at that. Look how it takes some time. It takes some time for the pupil to constrict. All right? It takes a little bit of time for the pupil to see how it took a little bit. It was like, whoop. But Cloud goes to just straight up, man. Like, watch this. Like that was quick, right? All right, I'm running away with something that's just I'm running away with nothing here. So I'm gonna move on. All right. Sephiroth has a wing in this one. Check this out. There's his wing. So Sephiroth has the wing. What's interesting about this is it looks like it's taking place at the edge of creation. So the edge of creation, which is right here. Let's go a little bit further. Yeah, we need that in a minute. He doesn't have the wing, right? There's no wing in that. And the ground looks perfect, right? The ground looks good. In this, we got floating rocks. It almost looks as if it's being fractured. Is this the moment? Are we returning to the edge of creation? Does Cloud make a decision here that causes things to start to fracture and start to break apart and float around? Like I said, that wasn't in remake, you know what I mean? Like everything looked fine, and Sephiroth didn't have the wing in remake. He's got the wing here. You can see the wing kind of coming off there. So that's interesting. And then we go ahead a little bit further. I still think that's just I think that's actually going to be part of the opening cinematic, but I'm could be very mistaken there. But this looks very much like what happened in remake, and we've seen the events of Cloud jumping up to swipe, boom, and then he gets transported into the edge of creation. But I think this is just kind of part of the opening cinematic. So I think we get the opening cinematic, boom, and then we get the cut to the clouds. We get that bird flying in, or the feather falling down, and then Zack walking Cloud to Midgar. I think that's going to be... We haven't seen the opening cinematic yet, and I think this is an part of the opening cinematic, and it just looks awesome. The scene just looks awesome. Yeah, so... Whew. Now, I'm going to restart the trailer. Alright, so, in this trailer, the text pops up. It says, "Those who are destined for rebirth do not fear the unknown." What's that supposed to mean? Meta-wise, I guess this is speaking to us fans. Hey, if you're hyped for rebirth, you don't fear the changes that are inevitable to come with this game, right? They're going to be changing the original game up. We've seen a lot of different scenarios where we've already seen some minor tweaks and adjustments, some maybe even major, like Hojo talking to Zack there, probably. Some sort of weird weapon that looks like Bizarro Sephiroth or Rebirth Sephiroth. So yeah, what is that supposed to mean? We're going to have to find out. But story-wise, Sephiroth is destined for rebirth. Okay. We've seen... Actually, you know what? Sephiroth has been rebirthed multiple times. We don't even know if Sephiroth in remake of the FF7 R trilogy is actually from Advent Children coming back and all that other stuff. Again, reborn. So, what about Zack, Biggs, Cloud? Sure, they should be dead, or maybe in Cloud's scenario, he's just going to be in Zack's world. He's going to be just a, Mako poisoned corpse that Zack has to drag around for a little while. Maybe reborn into something else. That's Schrodinger Baby Seals when he was on the show talking about that, where Sephiroth could be using Cloud as a vessel. A lot of interesting things where, again, Sephiroth reborn. So all of those things, sure, that's what it could mean. But they all seem a little anxious about it, about the unknown, rather than not fearing it. You know who does not fear the unknown? Jenova. She would embrace the unknown, and the rebirth of Jenova would be more than a planetary crisis. It would be a universal crisis. I don't know, man. I think it's the rebirth of Jenova, and I'm sticking with it. I think there's going to be a full-on reunion that brings back Jenova. That's my theory, like the end game theory for me as I lead into Rebirth. I'm just kind of stuck on that for some reason. I think that's Sephiroth's whole plan, is to is to make Genova reborn to her full potential. Anyway, this was a hype trailer. I'm so excited for Rebirth. It's available February 29th. It's so close, everyone. It's so freaking close. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope that you enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting it to go for 35 minutes. I didn't want to edit it down today because I didn't, I don't have the time for all the editing right now. I'm very busy. Look, I haven't even trimmed the beard. You know what I mean? Gotta get rid of that stuff. This is getting a little wild. This is my like you're going, like how hockey got the playoff beard. I'm leading into Rebirth, right? And I have no time for anything else but to just be extremely hype. I'm like in a hype stasis right now, where I don't. Sometimes I find myself just staring into the void of hype as I'm just so excited. So, like I said at the top, this is the perfect appetizer that I needed to satiate the hype for now. 1 more month, everyone. A month and a half. A month and a half. Take care. Let's try that again. Take care now. Bye-bye then.